So dear students, welcome in the class of computer. And after doing chapter 1 and 2 about CSS and about computer networking, now we are on the chapter number 3, which is about Let's Learn Access 2010. Yes. So far we have discussed about networking, and so far we have discussed about CSS, which was an kind of programming language in which we have created several kind of web pages. Now we will emphasize on some practical implementation of databases. Okay, now we will work on data. So data and information are the two different things which we work on. Okay, so supposingly, what do you mean by data? Data means any kind of raw facts and figures. As I have told you in my previous class, in your 7th class, supposingly if I am writing here, let me say, okay, here I have written here is 7. Okay, so what this 7 means? 7 can be a digit, 7 can be of someone's age, 7 can be a currency, and 7 can be an amount, an amount. So it can be anything until and unless if we aren't satisfied or aren't specifying any kind of information to it. Supposingly here I have written A. Okay, so what this A means? A can be an alphabet, A can be some section, A can be some code word also. So we cannot interpret what does this A means to try to say us. Okay, so until we are not specifying its information, it's a related thing. So this is known as data. 7 and A will referred as data because we are not specifying its information. Okay, so once we are going to specify which purpose we are going to use this 7, we are going to use this A, so this will become an information. Okay, supposingly I have created a table just like this. Okay, and I have mentioned here, supposingly this is class and this is supposingly section. Now you can better understand it. Now you will not interrelate this A to alphabet and this 7 to any amount. You know that this 7 is referring to the class and this is referring to the section. So this is how you can relate that now this 7 and this A becomes information. Okay, this A and this 7 becomes information. And if we aren't specifying the column, the field, so this 7 and this A was the what? Data. Okay, so this is how you can understand it. So now we are going to start it. A computer is an electronic machine. Yes, we all know that. And it inputs data, process it, and give result. Very easy to understand. Data means raw facts and figures, as I have told you. When data is processed, it becomes information. When we process the data, it becomes information. The contact details, marks scored by the children, prices of the items you purchase in your day-to-day life are some examples of data with which we deal every day. Absolutely, it's not new things to us. And similarly, the organization also deal with different types of data like number of employees in a company, their personal details, salaries, products, stocks, prices, and etc. So all these are few raw facts or figures. The data needs to be stored and managed. Okay, if you will see the scene from your perspective, then you are dealing with some prices, some marks, some contact details. So this is in your domain. And if we will talk for the point of view of organization, then you will know that supposingly for LPS, Layar Public School, we have to create the record of every student. Okay, the marks, its parents detail, where you live, the contact number, as well as the details of teachers also. How much salary they are giving, the personal detail of teacher, which subject they are teaching, which class they are dealing with. Okay, so these are the several kind of data which we need to arrange, which we need to organize in a very decent manner, in a very organized manner. Okay, so for that purpose we understand database. Mark my point, students, database. On data which we work is known as database. Okay, supposingly I am working on the marks, and every time I deal with this marks, that how many of students have scored more than 90, how many of student has scored more than 60. So this is my domain and this is my database. Whatever the table I am dealing with, whatever the data and information I am dealing with will be referred as database. Okay, supposingly I have created a table in which I have mentioned my class 8 student, and I am taking that how many of you have completed your work, how many of you have not completed your work. So this will be my database. The database is showing that my class 8 students is doing work or not. Okay, so this is the basic logic between database. So yes, now we will understand what is database in the context of book. So database is an organized collection of related data values in such a way that they can be used to generate useful information which is necessary for the decision making process. Mark my point. Here it is mentioned that we are going to emphasize on decision making process. Okay. Once if we will have the data in a very sufficient amount so that we can relate it with our organization and we can decide on which sector we need to focus, on which sector we don't need to focus anymore. Okay, so अगर हमारे पास डेटा रहेगा, अगर हमारे पास डेटाबेस रहेगा, क्योंकि हमारे पास वो कलेक्शन रहेगा डेटा वैल्यूज का, तो हम बेटर अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं कि हमें कौन से डेटा पर वर्क ज्यादा करना है, कौन से सेगमेंट पे, कौन से मॉड्यूल पे हमें ज्यादा वर्क करना है, कौन से पे नहीं करना है, किसमें सुधार की नीड है और किसमें सुधार की नीड नहीं है, या ये चलो इसको थोड़ा सा हम और एनहांस करेंगे. ओके, तो यहां से हम डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस के थ्रू पढ़ते हैं. ओके, it is easy to maintain small databases manually, but large databases like the information related to the functioning of various departments in an organization is not easy to store and process manually. होता क्या है स्टूडेंट्स की, जब भी डेटाबेस की बात करते हैं तो हम एक रजिस्टर लेते हैं, उसके अंदर बस टेबुलर फॉर्मेट में क्या करते हैं, डेटा को स्टोर करते हैं. बट अगर मैं बात करूं लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, बिग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लाइक अस, लाइक एलपीएस, so we cannot emphasize we cannot rely only on that register database. Okay, so we need to create a digital database so we can perform various operation on that electronic database. Okay, so an electronic database stored in the computer stores data effectively and helps to manipulate or retrieve it very quickly and accurately. Retrieve का मीनिंग होता है डेटा को रिट्राइव करना, यानी कि उसको एक्सेस करना. मैनिपुलेट कर सकते हैं हम उसको क्विकली और एक्यूरेटली, क्योंकि देखिए अगर हम मैन्युअली अगर किसी डेटाबेस को हैंडल करते हैं तो उसमें क्या पता मैनुअल एरर्स आ सकती है. बट इफ वी आर डीलिंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ कंप्यूटर, विद द हेल्प ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिकल मोड, सो वी कैन अश्योर दैट इट विल बी क्विक एज वेल एज इट विल प्रोड्यूस एक्यूरेट अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा. So the data in a database is stored in the form of tables consisting of related rows and columns. Yes, we know that table is nothing but a combination and a group of rows and columns. So database is what? Whenever we are dealing with table, then we can say that we are dealing with database. Okay. Now we will understand what is database management system. A computer-based application used to create, mark my point, used to create, store and manipulate a database is called DBMS. First of all, I have told you what is database. Database is nothing but a table or group of table. But what is database management system? Once we are going to deal with several tables, we are going to store it, we are going to manipulate it, and we will create new tables, new databases. So all this application will be known as DBMS. That means database management system. It helps in quick retrieval of processed information from large complicated database. Okay, तो इससे क्या होता है database management system से कि हम आराम से जो है quickly जो है process को retrieve कर सकते हैं, उसको manipulate कर सकते हैं. Okay, so I hope that I am clear to you what is database management, what is data, what is information, what is databases. Okay, now we will understand some advantages of database management system. What are the advantages? Database management software is easy to learn and use. Yes, absolutely. It is very easy to learn and easy to use. Database management software reduces data redundancy. So this is a very important thing. data redundancy. Mark my point students and please focus on screen only. Data redundancy का मतलब होता है duplication of data. ठीक है, कई बार क्या होता है, once we are dealing with manual database, so we can repeat a data. So once we have repeated a data, it may create some bizarre, or we can say it may lead to a confliction. Okay, तो हम जब भी डेटा को रिपीट करते हैं तो ये अच्छी चीज नहीं होती डेटा बेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम में. बट वंस वी आर क्रिएटिंग एनी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटाबेस, सो डेटा रिडंडेंसी के जो चांसेस है वो ना के बराबर हो जाते हैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि जब भी हम डुप्लीकेट डेटा एंटर करेंगे वो हमें पहले से बता देगा कि देखो यू आर डीलिंग विद डुप्लीकेट डेटा. डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोवाइड्स इजी रिट्राइवल ऑफ डेटा. देखिए जब भी हम एक्सेल की बात करते हैं, एक्सेस की बात करते हैं, तो कितने जल्दी जल्दी आउटपुट ले आते हैं ना. हम आराम से देख सकते हैं कि हाँ भाई कितने स्टूडेंट्स के 60 मार्क्स से ज्यादा हैं. बट अगर मैं रजिस्टर की बात करूं तो मुझे सबसे पहले टिक करना पड़ेगा कि अच्छा ये 60 वाले हैं, ये 80 वाले हैं. या अगर मैं बात करूं सॉर्टिंग की, इफ आई वांट टू सॉर्ट माय डेटा अकॉर्डिंग टू द अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर, सो आई कैन सॉर्ट इट इन अ बिट. ओके, डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर इनेबल इजी शेयरिंग ऑफ डेटा. अगर आपको बात की जाए कि फाइल शेयरिंग करनी है, तो फाइल शेयरिंग ऑफ व्हाट्सएप, ईमेल एंड बाय द यूज ऑफ यूएसबी डिवाइसेस आप कैसे भी कर सकते हैं. बट अगर आपको फाइल शेयरिंग करनी है मैनुअल डेटा की, तो आपको उसको जेरोक्स निकालना पड़ेगा. ओके, और वो एडिटेबल भी नहीं रहेगी. डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर रिड्यूस डेटा इनकंसिस्टेंसी. It means when one file is updated, the same data in another file is also updated by DBMS to keep data consistent in both the tables. जैसे कि क्या होता है कि अगर मैं एक टेबल में चेंजेस करता हूं और वो टेबल किसी और टेबल से एसोसिएटेड है, कनेक्टेड है, तो यहां पर मैंने टेबल 1 में ही जो है चेंजेस किए हैं, अपडेशन किए हैं, मॉडिफिकेशन किए हैं. बट वो जो अपडेशन है वो किसमें रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा, मेरे टेबल नंबर 2 में भी करेगा, बिकॉज इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली कनेक्टेड. ओके, so database management software provides data security also. data की security बनी रहती है. it ensures that the database is to be accessed with the proper permission and through proper channel. okay, तो हमें proper permission यानी कि यूजर नेम, यूजर पासवर्ड भी प्रोवाइड होता है, और हम देख सकते हैं कि वायरलेस मेथड में करना है, वायर्ड मेथड में करना है शेयर. so it provides data security also. some of the popular database management system software are Access, Apache OpenOffice base, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL and Sybase, etc. So these are some popular database management system. But we are going to work on Microsoft Access database management system, okay? Because it do not require any kind of coding. But if we will talk about MySQL, Sybase, Microsoft SQL Server, so they will require coding, okay? So as a chapter suggesting that we need to work on Access 2010. So now we have to understand what is Access 2010. So Access 2010 is the database component of Microsoft Office 2010 suite. Okay. So it comes under the suite of Microsoft Office 2010 suite, means a collection, a combination. Okay, तो उसी collection के अंदर एक Microsoft Access 2010 software भी है. It is one of the popular and the most user friendly. Yes, mark my point. It is very user friendly. You will find very easy to create a table and insert the data, and you can relate it with the several kind of tables also. So it is referred as RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. Yes, as a student has asked me that what is the basic difference between Access and Excel. So the very basic difference and the very major difference is that Access is relational database management system. So we can relate, we can connect two tables logically. Okay, so it allows us to connect two tables logically. That's why it is known as RDBMS. That means relational database management system. Relational database management system का मतलब यही होता है कि जहां पर आप 3 से 4 या एक्सेट्रा कितने भी टेबल्स को आपस में लॉजिकली कनेक्ट कर सके, यानी कि आप एक टेबल में मैनिपुलेशंस करें, अपग्रेडेशन करें, वहां पर भी वो रिफ्लेक्ट हो. So that allow to store the information in the form of multiple correlated tables. Mark my point. It allows us to work on multiple correlated tables. So this is how we have understood what is data, what is database, what is information, and what is the Access 2010. So now we are going to understand what are the database objects. हम कौन-कौन से terms पे, कौन-कौन से objects पे work करने वाले. So the very first and the very obvious object is table. टेबल का मीनिंग क्या होता है? टेबल इज नथिंग बट अ डीबीएमएस. ठीक है, डेटाबेस टेबल के अंदर हम क्या यूज करते हैं, रोज एंड कॉलम्स. सो table is the basic component of a database management system, and information in a table is stored in the form of columns called fields or attributes. अभी तक हम क्या कहते थे, केवल कॉलम नाम देते थे, बट अगर हम डीबीएमएस के अंदर वर्क कर रहे हैं तो हम उस कॉलम नहीं बोलते हैं, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, फील्ड या फिर एट्रीब्यूट. सो दिस कैन बी आस्क्ड यू इन योर गूगल फॉर्म और इन एनी अदर एमसीक्यू पैटर्न एग्जाम कि कॉलम को हम क्या बोलते हैं डीबीएमएस में, कॉलम को हम बोलते हैं फील्ड्स या फिर एट्रीब्यूट्स. एंड डिफरेंट एंट्रीज of related field values called records or tuples are stored in the form of rows, और rows को हम क्या बोलते हैं, tuples या फिर records. Okay, an individual field value of a record is called data value or data item. Supposingly I am working on this Akash, so Akash will be referred as data value or data item. It represents the small possible value stored in the database. So this data value is telling that it representing that it is the smallest possible value. So here you can see on your screen R number, first name, last name and age are the fields and attributes. That means these are the columns. And yes, 1, 2, Akash, Aarti, Gupta, Negi, 15 and 14 are the columns, or we can say in the term of DBMS is they are records or tuples. And yes, if I work on this Gupta, so this Gupta is nothing but a data value. Okay. Now the query. What do you mean by query? Query is a database component which extracts or retrieve information from one or more tables of the database that satisfy a specific criteria. यहाँ पर हमें समझने की नीड है बेटा कि क्वेरी होती क्या है. क्वेरी का मतलब होता है जब भी हम एक पर्टिकुलर टेबल, एक पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस से कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं, निकालते हैं, एक्सेस करते हैं ऑन अ गिवन स्पेसिफिक क्राइटेरिया. मार्क माय पॉइंट, ऑन अ गिवन स्पेसिफिक क्राइटेरिया. जैसे कि अगर मैं आप लोगों की क्लास की बात करूं, अगर मेरे पास एक डेटाबेस है नेम्ड क्लास 8 एंड आई वांट टू सी ओनली द नेम व्हिच इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ए ई आई ओ यू. मुझे केवल 19 स्टूडेंट्स के नेम देखने जिनके नेम ए ई आई ओ यू से स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, उनका फर्स्ट लेटर जो है नेम का वो ए ई आई ओ यू हो. तो मैंने यहाँ पर क्या दे दिया, एक स्पेसिफिक क्राइटेरिया दे दिया है और उसके बेसिस पे मैं एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहा हूँ इंफॉर्मेशन. सो दिस क्राइटेरिया विल बी रिफर्ड एज क्वेरी. Okay, got my point? Now we will understand what is form. Yes, you all know that what is form. That this database component act as a user interface. आप लोग Google Form जानते हैं, Google Form पे वर्क करते हैं. Several kind of form पे आप लोगों ने वर्क किया है. तो Google Form क्या होता है, यूजर इंटरफेस होता है जहां पर आप एंटर कर सकते हैं, एडिट कर सकते हैं, व्यू कर सकते हैं और सर्च कर सकते हैं डेटा को. Now next thing is report. Report is used to present the data stored in tables or queries in printable format to perform different types of data analysis on the extracted information. यानी कि अगर देखिए मैं बहुत ही बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रन कर रहा हूं जहां पर मेरे पास डेटाबेस में अराउंड 500 टेबल्स हैं, मार्क माय पॉइंट, 500 टेबल्स, और मुझे सभी 500 टेबल्स की नीड नहीं है. मुझे केवल एक एनालिसिस करना है कि हाँ मेरी सेल कितनी अप जा रही है, कितनी डाउन जा रही है, और अगर अप जा रही है तो कौन से प्रोडक्ट की जा रही है, और अगर कौन से प्रोडक्ट की जा रही है तो कौन से एरिया में जा रही है, और अगर एरिया में जा रही है तो कौन से ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन उसको लाइक कर रहे हैं, और अगर नहीं जा रहे हैं तो कौन से ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन उसको डिसलाइक कर रहे हैं. तो समझ रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर हम डेटा एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं. तो डेटा एनालिसिस करने के लिए हमें क्या तैयार करनी होती है, रिपोर्ट. तो रिपोर्ट क्या होती है, प्रिंटेबल फॉर्मेट होता है जहां पर आप डेटा एनालिसिस कर सकते हो और इंफॉर्मेशन को एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकते हो. नाउ these all things are the related to the basic phenomena, the basic theoretical phenomena only. Okay, now we will understand the practical approach of how we can start Access 2010. Okay, so to start Access 2010 we need to click on start button, and from the list of program click on Microsoft Office and then click on Microsoft Access 2010. Very easy to understand, students. Okay, and Access 2010 starts and the Access window is displayed with the file menu opened. Here, as you can see on your screen, that we need to first click on this start button, then you will find Microsoft Access. You will click on it. Under available templates, click on blank database. Yes, if you are going to start very fresh database, so you need to click on blank database. Step 4, enter a name for the new database in the file name box and click on create button. The Access window is displayed with an empty table named table 1. So here you can see blank database. You will click on it. Then you have to click on the fourth number step, which means we need to create it. And then you will type name of your database here. Okay. So components of Access 2010 window. What are the components? The various component of Access 2010 windows are ribbon, title bar, file tab, navigation pane, record navigation bar, and work area. As the name suggests, work area means that the area which will be do the entering of data, inserting, deleting, updating, and etc. Navigation pane means on how much or how many tables we are working on, so it will display here. And if we want to connect it or delete it, so we can do from here. Here is the record navigation bar. That means how many record we are working on and how we can access it. We can forward it, we can backward it. Okay. Here is the file tab only. And this is the ribbon. Ribbon consists home, create, external data, database tools, fields, table, and etc. So these will be referred as ribbons. And in these tools, we will find fields. This kind of tools we will find home and several tools. So these tools will be referred as what? Ribbon. And here the very easy to understand thing is the title bar. Title bar is, as you can see, school management database. The name which we have given to our Access 2010 table is nothing but a title bar. Okay. So this is how you can understand how you can access a Microsoft Access. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how you can start. So this is our desktop, and here I have clicked on start button. As you can see, now I will click on Microsoft Office. Here I will find my Microsoft Office Access 2007. So you don't need to worry about the version of 2007 and 2010. If you will compare between 2010 and 7 with context of Access, so it is not very different from it. Okay, so we can work on 2007 also, no much difference in it. Here you can find blank database. If I will double click it, it will ask me what you will want to give the name. So it is the file name, database one. So supposingly I am giving, okay, let it be the database one. What's the problem in it? Okay, and then I will create it. Here it is. Here you can see the first interface of the Microsoft Access. Here you will find home, create, external data, database tool, data sheet, view, and this is the file tab, and this is the navigation pane. Here you can find the record navigation pane, and here is the working area. So this is how you can access the Microsoft Access 2010, 2007, and etc. In the upcoming videos, in the upcoming session, we will work on this Microsoft Access. So I hope that you have understood what is data, database, information, access, and what are the advantages to using the database management system. Okay, so take care, students.